When you think of multiple income streams, what do you think of? Probably 24/7 grinding, building a business, getting a second job, spending hours every single day just to get a few bucks on top of your day job. In reality, this is a very limiting view of multiple income streams. An income stream is just a recurring form of revenue. And there are a lot more ways to generate that than spending hours every single day to get there. And in this video, we're going to discuss how. Hey, nice to see you again. My name is Evan. This is My Money Marathon. I create content centered around personal finance and beginner investing, trying to help beginners build their way towards their financial dreams and goals. I'm also very active over on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever we're calling it now. Links down in the description below. So you may ask yourself, why are multiple income streams really important in the first place? So the best analogy I can give is, imagine your house is on top of a stick, just a single stick, a single long log holding your entire house up. Seems a little precarious, doesn't it? Now imagine that we add 3, 4, 5, 10 other logs to hold up the house, and suddenly we have a full foundation below the house safely holding it up. Income streams are the exact same way. If an earthquake was to come by, a hurricane was to come by, that single log would absolutely fail and let your home topple, whereas having dozens of logs holding up your house would protect it much more securely. Income streams function that exact way, but for your finances. That home is instead your financial security, your financial freedom, your financial future, held up by however many logs, however many income streams you're able to generate. And the more income streams you're able to generate, the more securely your financial future will be held. And think of those natural disasters now as any financial hardship, anything from employment due to a job loss, see COVID, or even rising rent prices, again, see COVID. All of those could topple your financial future if you don't have enough income streams there to support you. Relying on a single source of income, which for most people is going to be a day job, that 9 to 5 job that the majority of us have, that's going to be their single source of income, and that can very easily be toppled, as you can see, due to something like a job loss. Now, 100% of your income is completely gone, and we want to play defensively with our money and protect our future. So where can these additional income streams come from? Well, we're going to start off with the most obvious, which is just a side hustle. Anything from coaching to mowing lawns to getting a second job to doing English tutoring online, whatever it may be, those are all examples of side hustles. Basically starting some sort of a second job on top of your day job. The biggest downside to a side hustle is the time commitment that goes along with it. Not only do you have to commit the time to actually be performing the task that earns you the money, but you actually have to spend the time to marketing, going out and finding potential clients, creating a product if you're selling a product, whatever it might be. There's a lot of time you have to put into it to turn that around into dollars. Now, the biggest upside to a side hustle is that there's no real ceiling on what you can earn from them. People build entire businesses as side hustles that eventually turn into essentially their day job, their primary source of income, not their only source of income, but their primary source of income in the long run, because it's so scalable and there's no real ceiling as to how well you can perform and how much income you can generate. Now we're going to start getting into the realm of things that aren't really seen traditionally as additional income streams. People just want to see side hustles as an additional income stream, whereas as long as we're recurringly bringing in money, that's an income stream. So the next one is investments. Now there are two primary ways that investments can generate additional income and become additional income streams. The first way is through appreciation. If an asset increases in value over time, such as a home or such as a stock, you are generating additional income through that because you have the ability to sell it off realistically whenever you want to and take that profit. Ideally, you want to let these gains ride and continue to compound, but it can be a literal lifesaver to have those assets to pull on if you need to. The second and less obvious way that investments can be seen as generating additional income is through dividends. Now think of dividends as any recurring payment that you get for continuing to hold an asset. In the stock market, dividends are paid out to shareholders as a reward for continuing to hold on to that stock over a period of time. In real estate, dividends are the rental payments you get from your tenants when you own a rental property. Any recurring payment that you get for continuing to hold and invest in your asset can be seen as a dividend. Again, very similarly to appreciation, we would ideally want to let these gains continue to ride and compound on each other in that asset, in that investment. But in the case of job loss or between jobs, those dividend payments can literally pay some of your bills and help you overcome that financial hardship. Now this next section I'm going to be calling passive-ish income. And I say this because no source of income is really entirely passive. Pretty much everything requires some sort of upfront effort to get it rolling before the income becomes anything close to passive. But that is the key word that we want to focus on here, is upfront. Income streams that only require upfront effort are ideal and incredibly versatile because you can put in that upfront effort whenever you have time, such as think of nights, weekends, a vacation, in between jobs, whatever it might be. Put in that upfront effort when you can and then reap the long-term rewards afterwards. A prime example of this is building a product. Think about writing something like an ebook online and you put in the upfront effort to write it, research it, market it, list it somewhere on an e-commerce site, whatever it might be. And then from then on, it's going to sell nearly automatically. Maybe you have to put in a little bit more effort and money to market it again over time, but that's going to be very little compared to building the product up front. Another great example of a passive-ish form of income is to build niche tool sites. Think of any time you've gone online and you've searched for a word counter or a BMI calculator or an age calculator based on a date. Those are all examples of niche tool sites where it's an entire website built around a single tool, and the entire goal is just to generate ad revenue from people visiting that single or maybe those couple pages on that tool site. These are fantastic examples of passive-ish income because you put in the effort up front to create the tool, research what tool it is you may want to design, and then once it's designed and out there and generating ad revenue and you're using ads to push traffic to that site, it's becoming entirely passive. By the way, I've set up several of these sites myself, and I would love to talk to you about it on a coaching call if you're interested in getting into this but aren't quite sure where to get started. So there's a link in the description below for a coaching call that we can talk about this. Regardless of what you decide, the goal is to generate passive-ish income that would continue to generate income regardless of losing your day job. Now, the final method of generating an additional income stream easily is through savings returns. Now, I'm not talking about the traditional savings account that's only going to be paying you 0.01, 0.02% on your savings in it. I'm talking about high-yield savings accounts. These high-yield savings accounts generally pay between 4 to 4.5% annual interest, and that's without any fees on the account whatsoever. So that's just entirely income that you're getting on your savings for just letting it sit there. And what's great about these accounts is they're just as liquid and easy to access as any traditional savings account. They're just paying you a higher interest rate. Of course, the amount of income that you're able to generate through these accounts is going to be entirely dependent on how much money you have saved in that account. So over time, it'll help you more and more. But if you're a little bit later in life, you have more money saved up, maybe you have a large emergency fund in there, the income generated from it can really help you pay your bills during a job loss. All right, that's it for today's video. I really hope you learned something in it. Applying multiple income streams may seem a little bit silly or a little bit over the top for most people, but in reality, it can be a financial lifesaver for nearly everybody at some point in their lives, and it's incredibly important to set it up while you're able to. So if you're looking for more sort of content like this, again, links in the description down below for my Twitter and Instagram that I'm very active on. Other than that, I'll see you next time.